Birthdays never meant much to me, even as a kid. The balloons, the cake, the obligatory singing, it all felt like an elaborate performance I couldn't fully enjoy now. As an adult, I'd made it a tradition to ignore the day entirely. No parties, no calls, just work. It's easier that way. This year was no different. I stayed home, buried under deadlines. The soft hum of my laptop filling the room. The clock on my desk glowed faintly, ticking closer to midnight. Outside, the city was quiet, too quiet. I told myself it was just the late hour, but there was a stillness that felt unnatural. I stretched, the kind of stretch that made my spine pop, and went to the kitchen to grab another coffee. As I poured, I noticed a reflection of the hallway behind me in the microwave door. It was darker than it should have been, the shadows pooling unnaturally thick near the ceiling. I blinked and it was gone. Get a grip, I muttered, carrying my mug back to the desk. The work was mindless but comforting, a rhythm I could lose myself in. Tap, scroll, type, repeat. But then, out of the corner of my eye, I saw it, a flicker, like something moving just beyond the edge of my vision. My fingers froze over the keyboard. The lamp on my desk flickered once, twice, then held steady. Just tired, I told myself, though my pulse betrayed me, hammering against my ribs. I turned the lamp's brightness up and forced my attention back to the screen. That's when I heard it, the faintest sound of movement. It wasn't the usual creak of the apartment settling or the distant hum of a neighbor's TV. This was deliberate, slow, like footsteps, but lighter, a shuffle. I spun in my chair, my eyes scanning the room. Nothing, just the faint outlines of furniture bathed in the glow of my desk lamp. I stood, the chair squeaking loudly as I pushed it back. Hello, my voice cracked. The silence that followed felt heavy, pressing against my ears. I took a cautious step toward the hallway, every nerve in my body screaming to stop. The hallway stretched out longer than I remembered. The shadows seemed deeper, more oppressive, swallowing the light. And then, at the very end, something moved. It was subtle, like the shifting of fabric in a breeze, but there was no breeze. Here, I froze, my breath catching in my throat. The shadows at the end of the hall weren't just shadows, they were watching me. A chill ran down my spine as the shape shifted, unfolding itself from the darkness. It didn't step into the light. It didn't need to. The way the shadows clung to it, being around like a second skin, was enough to tell me it wasn't human, tall, impossibly thin, its head tilted slightly as though curious. Why are you alone? The voice wasn't spoken aloud. It was inside my head, layered and echoing, filling the spaces between my thoughts. My knees locked, and I couldn't bring myself to answer. Preacher stepped closer, though it never truly moved. One moment it was at the end of the hall. The next it was halfway down, the shadows bending and stretching around it unnaturally. Birthdays are for the living. Why do you choose the quiet? I stumbled backward, my shoulder knocking into the desk. The hot coffee spilled, searing my skin, but the pain barely registered. What do you want? I managed to whisper. It tilted its head further, the motion so slow it felt deliberate, mocking to celebrate. Isn't that what you desire? Someone to notice? A sharp laugh escaped me, bordering on hysterical. I'm fine. I don't need anything. The creature's form shimmered, the edges of it dissolving and reappearing like static. Lying on your birthday, don't. You humans are so fragile. My heart pounded as the room darkened further. The desk lamp flickered again and then died completely, plunging me into shadow. My only light now came from the glow of the laptop screen, and even that began to dim. The creature was beside me now. I could feel its presence, cold and suffocating, though I couldn't bear to turn my head. The voice in my mind grew louder, its tone almost playful. Shall we make a wish? The air grew thick, heavy with the scent of something metallic. My vision blurred, the edges of the room distorting as if I were underwater. And then, just as suddenly as it had appeared, the presence was gone. The lights returned and the hallway looked normal again, as though nothing had happened. I collapsed into the chair, my hands trembling as I clutched the desk. The coffee had vanished, the stain on the desk gone. The cup perfectly upright, the clock on the wall chimed softly, announcing midnight. My birthday was over. But as I stared at my reflection in the dark screen of the laptop, I saw it, a faint silhouette standing behind me, its head tilted, waiting. Until next year, it whispered.